Hello everybody and welcome to Strawbs Crochet Corner episode 9. This is a podcast about mainly crocheting but also about sewing, knitting and some other crafts that I get into. My name is Anne or Anne. It is the 21st of August 2017 and it's a Monday. It's an overcast and a bit windy winter's day here in southwest of Western Australia. And I've got both of my boys at home with me today because they've been a bit unwell. So there will be some little assistance today. And also there might be some background noise because they'll be playing and watching TV, some children's programs. So try and bear with me. Today we will be talking about a few finished objects. A couple of works in progress. I've got some plans, a little bit of mail, and then I'll talk about Beach Along, which is my cow that I'm hosting at the moment. And I would like to thank all of my old viewers, all of the Finns who have been continuing to follow me, although I changed the language to English, and all of the new viewers. You're very warmly welcomed and I hope you enjoy my podcast. But let's go and have a look at my finished objects. My first finished object is one for my Beach Along cow. Crochet along, and it's this one. So this is my blur shawl. Pattern is by Adidas Designs, and it's a crescent, like a crescent shaped shawl.
And my mum made me one.
Yeah, I made you one as well. I'll show it that next, okay, Finsky? Wait. I'll ask you to come and show it, okay? Can you go and play, please?
Oh, Mum.
Please, Finn. Go and play, okay? Yeah, so I made a very small version of this because I only used 4 colours. This is supposed to be a very big shawl, but I think this works really well like this because I didn't really like my 5th colour. I didn't think it went well with these, and then again, my inspiration photo didn't have that turquoisey color in it, so yeah, I think it went really well. I'm just looking for the inspiration photo so that I can remind you what I was doing. Here, so that was my inspiration photo, which is seaweed on the beach, and that inspired these colors. So these are mainly Dingo dye works. So all the 3 last ones are Dingo dye works. I think I went through these a bit more in detail in the last episode, and all of the details are in my Ravelry project. But there's I'm not going to say the names because I can't remember. There's 3 colorways of Dingo dye works yarn, and this one is Fisherman's Rib hand dyed yarn, the yellow one. And I really love this shawl. I have not blocked this, and I haven't put this into the FO thread for the Beach Along cow yet in my Ravelry group, but it will be going there soon. Maybe after I've blocked it and got some good photos of it. But I've been wearing this all the time. And I think it's a really good sized shawl, although I made a really small version of it. Because yeah, you can nicely wear it like this, and you can even tie at the ends. It's just a little bit smaller shawl, and I really enjoy it. I love it. And when I was making these, Finn told me that he wants one as well, so I made him his own blur. Tuutko Finski näyttämään? Tuletko? He chose the colors himself from my leftovers, and this is Finn's blur. Tuutko äitin syykkyyn? Tuut toiselle puolelle. Tuut tänne puolelle. Phoenix, watch out. Finski's coming in. Finski's coming first. Okay, so let's show how it looks. So in this one I only used 3 colors, as you can see, and it's perfect size for a little almost 5-year-old. And Finn has been wearing this at kindy lots, haven't you? Do you like it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, is it nice and warm and soft? Yeah? Yeah. And it's easy for him to put on as well, and he can do a little knot on it, and he's ready to go. Do you want to wear it, or do you want to take it off?
Wear it.
Wear it. Okay, cool. You can go.
Yeah.
There you go. And for Finn's shawl, I didn't do this border, which is a little bit of like a scallop edge. I just did a crab stitch on it. I thought it was a bit more suitable for a boy. So that's the blurs that I've made. These are the 2 first blurs that I've made, and I was really surprised how addictive this pattern is. I thought that it's very simple, and maybe it's a bit boring because it's just basically just half double crochets and then some different colors, but it was so addictive. I didn't want to put it down because I just wanted to see how well the next color fades into the other one. And I think the speckled yarn is the best to use for these kinds of projects. And even the first one, the yellow, fades pretty nicely with the speckled, whereas in here it gets a bit more stripy, which I'm not the biggest fan of, but it doesn't bother me in this. I love this one. Other finished projects, I did a quick project because my son is really interested in hiding painted rocks around the playgrounds and then finding other kids' hidden rocks. So we painted some of those, and I also made 3 crochet rocks. Obviously they have been hidden, so I will just put a little picture here so you can see what I did. And it was just made using some old crochet cotton I had lying around, and I think I found 2 of them. I can't even remember anymore. They're terrible. I think 2 of them I made using instructions from Pearl Soho's website about crochet rocks, and then what's that? And one of them I made using instructions in a little crochet book that I got from the library, but I'll put a picture in here so you can see. Nena, yes, that's Nena. Yeah, Felix knows that's nose in Finnish. Nena. Yeah, good boy.
Nana.
Nena. And then there is a really nice crochet along starting. Yeah, Nana, good boy. There's a really nice crochet along starting this Saturday on the 26th of August. It's called Kalevala Crochet Along, which is an official project for Finland's celebration of their 100th year of independence. and it starts this Saturday, which is 100 days away from the actual 100th Independence Day. Just
when it's Mother's Day, it's the ball day. The ball game.
A ball game day on Mother's Day, is it?
All day.
All day? Okay.
So
Can Mummy? Yeah, can Mummy do this, please? Okay. Do you want to go and play? Yeah, so it starts 100 days before Finland's Independence Day, which is the 6th of December. And I have been umming and ahhing and wondering if I should take... Yeah, there's a moo cow there, isn't it? Moo cow. Yeah, Flixie, good boy. Yeah, I've been really wanting to take part in it, but then I don't really think I'm in a position to buy new yarn, because yeah, I would like to buy some good yarn, so it would be $150 or more for the yarn. So I had a plan to make it out of something I had in my stash, finished tuku wool, but it was the wrong weight and I didn't have enough, and then I thought that okay, maybe I won't do it, and then I had a brilliant idea that I will use the yarn I have left over from my temperature blanket that I've finished now, and I will do it with that. And that's my plan for now. I don't have enough, but I can get a start with these, and then yeah, maybe just buy a little bit more. So I'll just show you what I've got left, what I'm going to use for it. Can I get all of this in the picture? So those are the colors, and this is all Bendigo Woolen Mills luxury wool, 8-ply. That's the tag for one of them. And I've got, I've got 7 colours, but out of one colour I only have this much, so that's not much. But I thought that I'll just start with those, and then I've got 1 ball of the same yarn in 4-ply, and this would be, because the pattern calls for like a roughly 8-ply yarn for the squares. It's a square blanket consisting out of 24 different squares that have been inspired by Kalevala, which is the national epic of Finland. So all the stories in that epic, they have inspired all the squares. And then joining of the squares and the border is done in thinner yarn. I think it's about 5-ply, but I've got 4-ply, so I thought that I'll try how it goes with this one. And yeah, we'll see how we go. I'll probably have to order a few balls more, but I'll start and see how I go. And I'm really excited that I can take part in this now, because I would like to... Oh, sorry, excuse me for a second. Yeah, so that was a bit of a disagreement between the brothers, so that should be all sorted. Yes, so I was talking about Kalevala crochet along. So I'm very excited to take part in it now that I figured out how to, because I would like to remember my home country somehow on their 100th birthday. So I think that's very nice. And so although the crochet along starts on Saturday, and the first clue is released on Saturday, I think it's 9 AM finish time, so it would be 2 PM here in Western Australia. And then after that, the clues will be released twice a week, maybe on Mondays and Fridays, if I don't remember completely wrong. But yeah, 24 squares. I think they're all different, and then the joining and the border. But now there was boys. Okay, just play nicely, please, okay? A couple of days ago, I can't remember exactly when, but the instructions for the sample square were released. Felix, no touching. No touching. And I made the sample square. It's mainly for the people who got the official yarn package for it, so that they can make sure that their gauge is right and that their yarn will be enough. But I wanted to make one and have a look at a few different hook sizes, and yeah, the sample square is also used to measure the finished squares, just to see that the size is right, so this will be useful as well. Felix, please don't do that, okay? Play nicely. So the sample square is just a basic granny square. 10 rounds of a granny square, and it should be around 23 centimeters square after you've finished it. Mine is 22.5 centimeters, and yeah, I think it's close enough. I made this using a 3.5 millimeter hook. The one that I made with a 4 millimeter hook was 25 centimeters across, so I think that was a bit too big, so I'm happy with this. I did play yarn chicken and I lost, and I didn't want to start from, because I had a tiny little ball of this and then the big ball, so I didn't want to continue because this is good enough. Half a row is not too detrimental for this this square. At first time I made a bigger granny square using the tip that I saw somewhere, maybe in some Facebook group or somewhere, that because when you make a big granny square, it starts to kind of skew into one direction a little bit. But they said that if you turn your work after every round, it stays straight, and this one is pretty straight. And of course then you get every other round is kind of facing the wrong way, so that's the right side, and then that's the wrong side, right side and wrong side. But you can't really tell that in the finished product, and especially if you're not into crochet, you wouldn't have a clue. So I think this is an awesome tip. So if you're making big granny square blankets or something, turn your work after every row or round, and it will stay nice and square. So that's that, and I'm really looking forward to Saturday and the first clue. We'll be spending our weekend in Bridgetown, where we got married 6 years ago on the 27th of August, so it's our anniversary. Hence the flowers here. I thought that I'll swap the orchid that you've seen in a couple of last episodes and show you my bridal bouquet that I made crocheted myself. So yeah, just so that it gets a bit more use and not just that one day. I was really happy to do that myself, and instead of flowers that die, to have something that I can keep for longer. And then I've got something else that I have finished, which is some squares for my Nuts About Squares blanket. And I thought that I'll try and start catching up on this as well now. And what I've done, in last episode I had 2 squares half done. So these are those squares, and they are now finished. So this week's squares, I have 3 of these, and they're done, which is good. Then I made the Tropical Delight square. There's only one of these, and on the same week there was two squares of a different pattern, but I can't remember which one that was. But I thought this Tropical Delight is such a beautiful, beautiful square. It was quite a lot of work and a bit fiddly, but I think it turned out beautifully. I think this is the center square for the blanket, if I'm not completely wrong, but I think it's stunning. Yeah, I think this is awesome. I love this square. And then I've got one more finished one, which is this one. This is week 12. I didn't realize, when looking at the picture of this square, I didn't realize how complicated this was. Like making these and going around them, and you had to use the front loop only, or the back loop only, or the back bump, and yeah, it was quite fiddly all the way up to here. So that one is finished. There's two more of these which I need to make, and last night I got them all the way to this stage. So there's two more of those coming. And then after those are done, let me just have a look at my notes. I've got 6 more squares to do after these two are done. And then I've got all the squares, and then there's only joining and the border. So I'm getting there, and I'm really happy about that. And I know that it's not going to happen. I'm not going to get this ready before I start the Kalevala cow on Saturday, but it would be nice to have that fairly done anyway, so I wouldn't have 2 complicated big blanket projects going on at the same time. So hopefully I will get that done soonish, and then we'll have a party, because that's been a big job. And yeah, well, that started the work in progress a little bit as well, because yeah, there were some squares that were in progress. Another whip that I've got is just a spur of the moment thing that I started maybe on Saturday, this weekend anyway. I bought this book some time ago. I think this is brilliant. This is I just love this book for some reason. Well, it's soft toys, which is always nice. They're so cute. There's so many different animals, and they're all done in natural wool, which is not dyed, so they're all natural colors. And I think it's a delight to look at and plan, and all of the different animals, they've got their bios here. Oh, there's a story about them and their family, and what they're like, what their personality is like, and I think it's awesome to read that. But I decided, because I had some cheap acrylic yarn left over when I made a big crochet donut pillow for my sister-in-law. So I decided that, okay, I want to, because I haven't done anything yet. I haven't crocheted anything out of this book yet. I have started, but I have not finished. So I decided, boys and I had a look at all these photos, and this was one of the favorites. And this is Austin the Rhino. So I'm making Austin. I didn't have any proper colored yarn for it, so I just took what I had and started. And let me show you what I've done so far. Finn, be quiet please, okay? So there's Austin's body. There's his head. And one leg and another leg here, and I still need to make the horn, the tail.
And the horn is really sharp.
Yes, and the arms, and finish this one and then sew them together, and that will be Austin. Yeah, so that's how far Austin's gotten to, and I think I will try and finish him sometime maybe in the next week, maybe a week. There's not much to do, but it's just fiddly, so sometimes I don't have the patience for that. But that's probably the active whips that I'm working on at the moment. I have a plan, an urgent plan actually. Finn's got book week this week, and he wants to be a frog. So let me just show you what I'm planning to do. I'm just thinking that okay, I'll just make a nice frog beanie for him, and yeah, that's probably, maybe we'll find some green clothes for him to wear, but this is what I'm planning to make. It's a free pattern from Repeat Crafter Me, and I've made a lot of her other beanie patterns before, and they're really easy and quick and cheerful. I've made the shark beanie, and I've made a few of the unicorn ones, and I think this frog is really cute. I've made them previously with just cotton, 2 strands of cotton yarn, and I went rummaging around my stash, and I found 4 little or a little bit bigger balls, but not full balls, of this green. There's only 60 grams of this, so this is not going to be enough. I might have to go shopping, maybe even today, because he has to have it on Wednesday. So I've got today, yeah, I gotta go today because I've got today and tomorrow to finish it, which is not going to be a problem as long as I've got the yarn. Okay, Finn, stop please. No moving the chairs. So that's my plan for the very near future. And then I've had some mail. Yes, so I knew to wait for this mail, although I had forgotten about it. But it was Eva, or she's Neolaja 80 on Ravelry. She told me after I was talking about my plans for Kalevala cow, and that I would be using the tuku wool fingering weight yarn that I've got here, but that I don't have enough. She said that okay, I've got 2 little leftovers from my tuku wool that you can have, and yeah, so she offered to send them to me, and this is what she sent. So this is just over 20 grams, and this is leftovers from when she made the one cardigan, I think. On the screen it actually looks a little bit bluer. This is like a greenish blue, a little bit greener, but I think it's the painting at the back that makes it a little bit different, but yeah, it doesn't really matter that much. And then she sent me this one, which is also tuku wool, about 30 grams, and this is actually dyed by Elina from Villapaikapeli podcast, so that's special as well. So I got these 2 little skeins, and they actually go pretty well with the colors that I've got from the tuku wool. So let's see, if nothing else, I don't really have plans for these yet, but I don't have real plans for my tuku wool either, so we'll see what comes out of these. And together with that, I of course got a nice card. It's been really rainy here lately, last however many weeks actually. And this package got a little bit damaged, as you can see there. It is wet because the mail or the postman here, they just leave these packages hanging half out of the mailbox for some reason. And of course when it's pouring down with rain, they get wet. So, but fortunately there was nothing that can go wrong, you know, go bad in this package except for this card, but I can still read the letter that the card that she wrote to me, so that's all good. And of course you have to have some little goodies, so finished salted licorice, and there was 4 of these Moomin lollipops, but all the other ones have been eaten. There's one left. I wonder who the lucky one is who can have this one. But thank you, Eva. That was very nice of you to send me some of your leftovers, and yeah, that made me very happy. And then a couple of words about my beach along, crochet along, knit along, make along, whatever along. So I've looked now, and there are already finished objects. There's a finished objects thread and chatter thread in the Strawbs Crochet Corner Ravelry group, and there's already 4 finished objects in there. There's a beanie, and there's socks, and some dishcloths, and yeah, really pretty makes. And of course this one is one as well, but I just haven't put it in there yet. I'm really happy that people have started to take part in my first ever cow, and I've actually had some ideas about the prices. So I was talking about a project bag, and I went shopping for fabric for it, and I stumbled across these pretty ones that they're not very colourful, but they are loosely related to beach, ocean, water theme. So this pretty black and white goldfish fabric, which is actually, I think this was some, oh no, I think this was some Japanese fabric, and I just talked to me, so I had to take it. And then for the lining fabric, I bought these, so I thought this could be a, you know, like waves or swirls or whatever in the ocean. So that's going to be the lining for it. Okay, so I'm not sure yet. I'm thinking that this will be one of those drawstring bags, like this one that I've made. And then of course it will be reversible like this one as well. And maybe with a square bottom of it. I'm not sure yet. I haven't decided. And this might have even a black fabric at the bottom, just to make it a little bit more user friendly, and not, yeah, because white is not good if you're carrying it around and maybe in the car and all that, so it gets dirty easily. So, but we'll see. This is something that I've purchased, but yeah, haven't done anything else with it. And then I got some materials for stitch markers and progress keepers, and I've made some. So these are beach themed as well. Oh, let's turn it around this way. So different kinds of shells and starfish, and those. I'm testing these at the moment, and for example this one, this was a bit hard to use as a progress keeper, so I made it a stitch mark just because of the bulkiness of it here, so it's easier to use that way. So I'm just testing them and seeing how they're best to use, and then I'll decide if they're going to be stitch markers or progress keepers. And then I'll just show these that I've made previously, and I'm testing them as well and seeing how well they last when you're using them. So these are just shells that I've gathered from the beach that have the hole in them naturally, and I've just made them into stitch markers and progress keepers. There's one huge big one there as well, which might not be that useful, but we'll see. I'll test it out. So those are something that I've planned as prizes for my beach along. And the beach along goes, it started on the 1st of August, and it goes until the summer officially starts here in Australia, which is start of December. So the beach along finishes on the 30th of November. So August, September, 4 months, you've got time. And so just a little recap of the idea of the beach along is that I would like you to go and take a photo of your favorite beach, or find an old photo of a beach that you like. I've had some questions about if it has to be your own photo, like you've taken the photo. I don't think that's necessary. Like you can, if a friend takes a photo, and even maybe you can even use some like marketing type photos or something. The idea behind this, I just want people to get inspired by a scenery and the colors in the scenery that they really love, like a really nice place that they enjoy and they can relax in, so that when they get inspired and use those colors to make something for themselves, they can go back to that beautiful spot when they're using the project that they made with that inspiration. So that's what I'm trying to do with this cow. So even if it's not your own photo, then use it. I'm just trying to think that, okay, maybe you've got like a dream destination, like a beachy dream destination, or maybe a photo of a beautiful tropical beach that you look at when you're down, or that you look at when you're meditating or trying to get into that right headspace, and that makes you calm and happy and relaxed. Then use that photo. It doesn't matter if it's not your own. Maybe, I don't know, I haven't actually researched because I'm just thinking out loud. I haven't researched. There shouldn't be any copyright issues, just showing that photo and using it as your inspiration, even if you put it on in the Ravelry or on your own Instagram feed or somewhere, as long as you mention where you got the photo from, I guess. But yeah, I don't want to put too many boundaries into this beach along. So yeah, as long as it's something that you love and makes you happy looking at the picture, then by all means, please use it. Get inspired, find some yarn, find a project, and crochet or knit away and make something beautiful for yourself that makes you feel really warm and fuzzy. So yeah, I'm trying to think that might be all for today. I might have to pack the boys in the car and go shopping in Spotlight to get some yarn for or for Finn's froggy cat. Yeah, that might be our plan. Have some lunch and then get going. But until next time, I hope you all enjoy what you're doing. I hope that you all have a lot of crafty time for yourselves. And yeah, next time I think I've started my Kalevala cow, so maybe I've got a square or two as finished objects. But until then, I hope you all at least think about taking part in my beach along. More information can be found on in Ravelry in the Strawbs Crochet Corner group, where there's a finished objects and a chatter thread. So please go there. In my group there will also be a thread for this podcast episode where you can go and leave any comments that you may have. And if you've enjoyed this episode, please put thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you would like to get notifications of all the new episodes. And yeah, I'm already also on Instagram as Strawbs Design, so go and have a look there if you like. And yeah, I think that's it for me. See you next time.